Hello, everybody. Yep, looking pretty good. How's it going, everyone? Hello and welcome to the weekly Wednesday lunchtime live stream here on twitch.tv/DDO stream, youtube.com/Dungeons and Dragons/live, and facebook.com/DDO Unlimited. I'm DDO's Community Manager Cordovan, and I do have a little bit of a head cold, and I'm kind of stuffy, so if I sound like I've got a stuffed schnoz, it's because, gosh darn it, I do. And I'm still seeing myself offline on Twitch. Try that again. Could it be? Hey, there we go. Now I see myself on Twitch. Let me do that again. Good morning, DDO. Yep. I got the bug. Yeah, it's a lot of people have been getting it. Just like a bit of a head cold and all that. We were having super sub-zero. Well, not really. Single-digit Fahrenheit temperature. It's cold. It's windy. Good time to play some DDO. So, what are we going to be doing today? We are on Orion. We're going to be running around the Demon Web a little bit. I've got level 21 Vistani Assassin that I will be playing. We will have the latest news, although it's a little bit of a quiet time. We have a lot happening behind the scenes, but perhaps less happening publicly at this point. Work is hard underway at for Sharn. We also have an anniversary patch coming up here pretty soon that could be perhaps as soon as next week. Stay tuned on that. There's still some work taking place. The other piece is the Rizia Ice Games and Midwinter Festival are going to be making their debut next week. We'll be bringing it up with the weekly downtime next Tuesday, and it'll go through the regular 2 full weekends into the following Monday schedule. So I can look at a calendar here in just a second and actually kind of get the sense of what all is there. If I get too snuffly, I may actually end up cutting the mic. We'll see what happens. But yeah, so that's something that we were ready to announce. So hard at work also is work being done on the producer's letter. It's really outside of my hands at this point. We're waiting for Sev to kind of get it all written the way you'd like to get it written, and then we have to send it out to our various partners and all that sort of thing to make sure that they see it first, and that, you know, they're okay with all that sort of thing. So that's what we've got going on right now. We are working toward our anniversary, and then very much looking ahead towards Sharn here. Oh. Okay, so we've got 2 people who can't make it in, huh? Yeah. Well, I've already done the Schindelprint stuff, so I kind of don't want to do that. I would just say if you can't come in, just drop the group and we'll pick up a couple of folks who can. Sorry about that this week. Don't drop Sharn on top of the anniversary event. Yeah. Nope, that won't be happening.
Back into my web so soon, mortals? How interesting. It's a little late to try to finish what started back in Eberron. The Drow have
Alright, we do have 2 slots open then. You do need to be able to get into the Demon Web.
Perhaps I'll take the ones you're carrying in your bags.
We're just going to be kind of... There's a lot of, frankly, good XP to get from the Demon Web, so I'm just going to be getting the XP from it, and then as we come across any quests, then we'll just do the quests. So.
It is terribly fun to see the panic in your eyes as you realize how helpful you've been.
Otherwise, we're hard at work on the D&D night side. If you've been enjoying that kind of Sunday night tabletop stuff, they've got another month scheduled here, and the first weekend of the month is going to be Bonnie Bew, who is truly hilarious and fun to watch, so hopefully you're checking that out. If not, maybe this upcoming Sunday would be the time to do so. Sunday, 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern on DDO stream. What is, for some reason I'm not... Oh, because someone's at... I see, because we have level 30s in here, so we're not picking up the XP, so that's what's going on here. Alright. Week 2 is going to be Patrick from DDO Cast and his weekly campaign. Week 3 will be Even Note, who will be doing the Sunless Citadel campaign. I'm a part of that. And then for February, now that kind of one of the main campaigns that Kevin is doing is on a brief break, I'm going to be filling in on a special campaign. So end of February, I'll be doing a 3-part DM session. It should be a lot of fun. And it should be the last Sunday of the month. I tend to play around with the rules in a fun way. And this will be no different. What else can I mention? I'm trying to remember the easiest way to get to the quests here. Since we do have level 30s in here, we're not really getting any Slayer XP. So maybe it's worth just trying to... yeah, jump off to message 36. And as a matter of fact, I think I am in the same boat. If someone could share the quests, that would be lovely. Yeah, alright. Sorry. This will, the other thing about the Reezy Ice Games and Midwinter Festival is we will still be doing our regular bonuses on top of it. Just kind of due to various calendar reasons. I apologize for coughing into the mic there. I'll try and be better about that. Because I do have a little bit of a cold. What do we got? Okay, so this weekend is indeed just the Reezy Ice Games and Midwinter Festival. And then, That will go through. February 17th. You suck. Haha, you died in the Slayer area. Yep. Should have used my Harper pin to break the hold. Yeah, I never remember my Harper pin until it's too late. Always the way it goes. Ah, cool. Yep, next... Oh, you're right. Do not start till next Tuesday. You're right. So what do we have going on this weekend? We had something in its place, and then they took it out yesterday, but then that was under the assumption it was starting Thursday, but since that's not until Tuesday, we have a blank spot. I don't remember what we were going to put in its place. Sorry, Fire the Dragon Leader, you're right, it is coffee. Yeah. I'll sort out the bonus thing this afternoon. We'll figure out what's going on. Probably just do a quick weekend bonus.
Another ambush. It's as if these forces were carefully...
I actually saw on social media here someone was asking for a Caneth... Oh no. Caneth challenge. Ingredient. Boost. If we do the egg hunt this year, it wouldn't have any new itemization, so it'd be kind of the old stuff, but we could bring it back. -37 in North Dakota. Yes, Ron, I am aware of that. I was talking to some family back in Minnesota, and they were talking about how cold it is up north there. In Fargo, and what have you. Is indeed. This character's pretty gimpy. I don't typically play on Orient a whole lot.
Are these scattered masses of rock the work of their chaotic goddess?
Yeah, we got that polar vortex hitting the United States and Canada. I think it's always in Canada, isn't it? Wow. These guys will hit pretty hard on Elite here.
The depth of the abyss gapes between this ledge and the next.
Yeah, you know, every place has got its own issues. Arizona, it goes the other direction, right? So That's just how it is.
What did you hope to find? Your world is bleeding into the Spider Queen's domain.
I think if I had to choose between 120 and negative 20, I'd probably go with negative 20 here myself.
As he lowers his head to summon more adversaries, some of your life force fuses into the rift. It grows stiller and more solid. Still, it is far from stable.
Oof. Gallup, New Mexico, 31 degrees. Wow, that is cold. I bet they're darn freezing in Gallup.
The barrier has gone down again. It won't stay down for long.
Hello from Germany. Hey, Stanislav. Nice to see you over on Facebook. Thank you. Any iconic race on sale soon? I have not really taken a deep dive on the calendars here, but I don't see anything in the immediate future anyway. The new pillar in the harbor, that's almost certainly Sharn related. Any plans to recraft or disassemble slave lords' items? I don't think so. I think that they are what they are and will remain what they are.
The Dragloff concedes.
Time for something bigger.
When will Sharn stuff start showing up on the forums? That's a good question. I would think relatively soon, probably after the anniversary update. We'll probably first start seeing a little bit about maybe the loot and the tiefling. That should all be good stuff. And then, of course, we do have betas and things like that planned as well. Ah, Smackdown. Yes, Tiefling will be playable. Any news on the disconnects people are experiencing? Because it says you've been logged into another server. We are aware of that, Macubre, and just before noon here, I got an email from Ops saying that they think they may have located the source of that issue and resolved it. But that's brand new news. It may not, it may still be in the process of being worked out. But yes, we are aware of it. Some kind of data time clock issue thing with the GLS authentication servers. Well, that should be resolved soon, hopefully. I myself have not experienced it, but I know a couple people who have, so it's something we are working to get resolved. So it's a bug and you haven't been hacked. Well, I'd hate to ever say, like, in an official capacity, nope, that's a guarantee you've never been hacked. But, because you could be hacked while this bug is going on, theoretically. But I will say, in regard specifically to this bug, this uptick in people getting this particular bug. Yeah, it's a clock issue, not a actual hack issue.
You can just make out the grin on the Dragloth's hideous face as he begins his... The grin turns to fury as he looks a moment early and sees you healing the rift.
Any chance of a scroll box, as suggested last year? The idea of a scroll box, a cosmetic box, a potion sort of containment system, things like that. That all is, again, it periodically crops up and gets discussed, but we just have other priorities right now. We have other things we're working on that I think is going to make accomplishing that, at least in the short term, unlikely. We do, after all, have literally hundreds of items to make for Sharn. So the systems folks will be quite busy here in the near future. Ah! Maybe I should have more hit points, huh? Yeah. When will we get the sentient jewel of the dragon mentioned in the last producer's letter? That's a good question. That's joining the pile of things that were mentioned in a producer's letter that have yet to come to pass. I have not heard of any. I have not heard of any plans on that thing. I think it was true as of the time it was written, but perhaps it's just not in the current agenda. Hello from Maine. Yep. Thousand Ways to Die DDO edition. Yeah, yeah.
Stronger than me,
The Dragloth runs.
but love is stronger than us all. And when she has consumed the thread, stronger still.
As the light goes from his eyes, the orb's power dissipates. North's defenses have been weakened. More important, Eberron is safe for now.
Alright. You okay? Oh, level 22. That would be a very big video. Yeah. Oh, thank you so much, Connor. Sorry to hear that. But thanks for the kind word anyway. Sometimes you get a message saying, do you want to upgrade your DirectX? No matter if I click yes or no, it resets your key map. You have been dealing with it for years, and you believe it has something to do with your account because you have had this problem on different computers. Any thoughts? So, the DirectX runtime is a frequent issue, particularly on Windows 10 upgrades. And so you will be getting that if all those computers were Windows 10. It did not have the DirectX runtime environment installed. That might well be why you're seeing that in multiple places. However, it also sounds, since you say it resets your key map, that what you might be experiencing is a write permissions issue. So what I would recommend you do, if this is something you could follow, is I would try installing the game client outside of the Windows Program x86 file structure, maybe like a D drive or an E drive or something like that. And then make sure that the My Documents Dungeons & Dragons Online folder has got the proper write permissions, like admin permissions to write. Do I have a favorite weapon, or does it just depend? Yes, my favorite weapon is the Bastard Sword, and my favorite weapon in particular is the Lacerator. It may not be the most powerful or useful item, but it is the coolest looking sword in all of DDO, and it will remain such for the foreseeable future. Alright, jump to... you know, it wouldn't hurt to remove the program and start fresh. I think theoretically you could accomplish this by making a copy of your game install and porting it over, but I'm not CS. I can tell you to do that, even though it's probably a bad idea. But that's what I would do. Are we trying to get to you, Amelia? Is that the point? I mean, you know, I would never say never on just about anything. You know, DDO has such a long history that, when in terms of, is it theoretically possible it could be an account issue? Sure, I guess. I mean, I've seen a lot of weird stuff over the years. I'm not quite sure how that would work, though. Or you could use DDO-ML. I can't really tell people to do that. That might be something to look into. Probably couldn't hurt. Alright. What is my least favorite adventure module not in DDO? My least favorite adventure module not in DDO. don't know. I don't know. The big question, the dev letter, it's basically, it's all been largely hashed out, and it's in the hands of Sev to, you know, we figured out what we're going to announce and talk about and things like that. It's in his hands to write it up into his own letter, and then it'll get kind of passed around. One last check, everything from spelling to grammar to formatting and all that. And then it'll go off to our partners for a first look and approval.
Huge bestial form looms in the distance. It seems the demon lord grew a booming.
I ever play on Galanda? Not too much. I have a character on Galanda. I have a character on every server. But I don't typically play a lot on Galanda. I just don't really know anybody who does it. Do you have a preference on wits or combat? Wits, right? Yep.
Next to the blue sigil, a peculiar-looking console lights up nearby.
This is a fun section. It's basically the shroud puzzles sideways. What happened to new force spells? We have enough elemental spells. Well, force tends to be really powerful, so we are careful about bringing it additional forms of it there, but okay. So another month on the letter? Hopefully not. Hopefully we're looking at a week, maybe a couple weeks. Oh man, I'm useless. Is there a limit on how many player accounts can be added to a guild? Yes. I had heard it was something like 1,000 back in the day, but it could be that if you said you've hit it, then yeah, there you go. More than 1,000, both active and inactive. How many PCs are in front of me? I have just 2 monitors here that I use on this stream. At home I have 3 monitors, and I tend to find it better for broadcasting. Once I just recently switched to 3 monitors, it's kind of hard to go back. But I just have all 3 chats kind of compartmentalized on this right-hand screen here. Well, you're not expecting the rogue to solve this problem, are you? I have not heard of plans to remove that guild account limit. If you get 1,000 people in your guild, that's a lot of people. Can we get a mid-level permanent hireling healing? Healing hireling. No plans for server merges. No plans for a mid-level healing hireling. Sorry. Any hope for some short videos for the Sharn production process, like sneak previews and that? I don't know that that's what we're going to be able to do. Not this time, but there is some cool stuff coming. I've seen like a logo treatment, and I've seen like some key art and some cool stuff like that. So it's looking really good. Yeah, I'm not sure which would be the worst of the old, say, modules. I mean, there's... I don't want to say anything bad about other people's work, but also most of the D&D modules I played were first and second edition ones, and I had a good time with all of them anyway, so... I'm sure there is one. The thing about those old D&D modules is that even if theoretically maybe the module itself is not super great, your group can have its own fun anyway. So it's sort of... I can't imagine playing a classic module and not having a good time. I often get pretty turned around in this quest. I have been known to get lost in this quest more often than once. I remember once soloing this quest too where I got real turned around, and I'm not quite sure, still am not entirely sure where I got lost, but... A revamp or any reward for missing favor like gatekeepers? Yes. That is potentially in for the next patch, depending on engineering work being done this week. If that work gets done and it checks out okay, then we could have it done in time for next week's patch. If something comes up, then it may, you know, be slightly delayed from that. But that's the intention. Should be real soon. You want a Cavalier? Yeah. Craftable trinkets. You can get craftable trinkets from the DDO store, and you can make craftable trinkets using shards of power from the Shroud. Of hopelessness. Yeah, sorry I'm not sounding too great on stream here today. It's, what can I say, I got a cold. I don't feel that bad, I just have a cold. When is Knight's training going live? That too is set for probably next week. Where is the anniversary? The anniversary event will be taking place in House Fjarlin. There's a challenge-style quest that you can take part in, and there's some cool new loot and new stuff in this year's event that's going to be going live with our next patch. The event itself doesn't go live right away, but when it does go live, it'll have new stuff in it that'll be brought to the game with next week's patch. Yeah, I know. I always think of Eric from the D&D cartoon when I think of Cavalier as well. I remember once, long time ago, trying to play a Cavalier, subclass. I don't really remember. I don't really remember ever really enjoying it or liking it or even fully understanding it. So Cavalier doesn't mean a lot to me personally, but sounds cool. Although we already kind of have it. Isn't that basically what a Paladin Vanguard is in many ways?
We have defeated Shoaz, the Drider Guardian.
We don't need to do the puzzle on this one because we did the combat instead. Coming back from 2 years looking for a melee build to play. I would take a look at the Paladin Vanguard. That's within the past couple of years had some pretty cool looking updates. Might well be something you were interested in. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Bludgeon damage, not force. It's the Dungeons and Dragons ride. Whoa! Yeah, I love that cartoon. What can I say? I am a child of the 80s. Everyone go. Uh-oh. I think I'm going the wrong way. There we go. Is that right? Ah. Hey, it looks like the group's gotten splintered here. I'm kind of lost. I'm not quite sure where everyone's gone off to. I'm going the wrong way. Sweep of Despair. We did that. Going up and around. Oh, okay. That's what I did wrong. There we go. Stand still till someone finds you. Nice. Bruce Shepard, Three Barrel Cove does not directly tie into Sentinels of Stormreach, I don't believe. They are separate adventure packs, complementary to each other in terms of item level and such, but I don't believe they are a direct lore tie. When will I be on Galena next? It'll be a while. Yeah, I know. It's hard to keep an eye on 3 chat and not get lost in the party here, to some extent. My party's contribution goes down, shall we say. Nine adventures in a wilderness and 3 barrel? That sounds right.
You aren't quite as feeble as you look, mortals. Come find me, and I'll give you your reward.
I definitely recommend 3 Barrel Cove if you have not. It's good stuff. Get someone whose job it is to read the chat. Having a producer would be kind of neat. Will we ever see improved hairstyles, more options for hairs, noses, that kind of thing? I would never say never on that, but it's just not on our current agenda.
The north path is clear.
Three Barrel Cove has some good epic stuff as well, kind of mid-20s epic level quests that you would get from that pack that, should you reach that level, you would probably appreciate.
At the top of a web strand lies some kind of button or switch.
Also does have the cursed blade of Jack Jibbers. This is true. This is true. Yeah. One of the most desirable items in the game.
metal and stone reverberate from down below. You can now make your way to the orb that
You play a lot with someone who is deaf, so cannot hear voice commands or banter. Is there a way to create a voice-to-text option? So when we talk, it gets typed into a chat tab if they have it enabled. I think your best solution to that will be to utilize something that is probably outside of the DDO game client. I would look into like one of those things like Dragon Naturally Speaking or some of the other kind of instant language, speech to text programs. They're not going to be 100% accurate, but for the purposes of party chat and banter, that should, I would imagine, be good enough. And so then, depending on that software, perhaps there's a way to get it imported into a Discord chat or something like that that might make more sense. Alright, let's do it.
At long last, you hold the arcane orb that Lolth gave to Bruno.
Nice.
You've accomplished your mission and helped thwart the spider.
Alright, I'm going to wrap things up here in just a couple of minutes.
The attention of an angry god.
Well, theoretically, if I get this final quest done, like either during the week or next Wednesday, we could do a Caught in the Web. I'm down. Yep, Samus Grub will be on in a few minutes here. Yeah. Alright, so I will get you an in-game code for 500 DDO points. Thank you very much for joining me here today. And thank you very much for watching the weekly Wednesday lunchtime live stream on Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. Stick around for Samus Garobo here at in just a couple of minutes over on twitch.tv/DDO stream. You can find our full schedule over there as well. We'd love to have you check out all of our shows if you would. And otherwise, I'll be back next Wednesday with part 2 of 2. This will be over on Orion as well. I think that's probably going to largely wrap it up then. I guess I could show you the rewards I get. At this point, I'm mostly just taking guild renown. So I see something that I really could use. Alright. Alright, thanks very much for watching. I will see you again soon. Have a great day.